Men don't understand women might rather be single because even being with the perfect man is a sacrifice. And men don't understand that because women are pretty much all assets, no losses. Even if you date a so-called bad woman, as a man, you get so much out of that relationship automatically. That's just the way patriarchy works. One of my favorite examples is Gone Girl's Amy. Amy was a sociopath, but Nick was still benefiting so much from being with her. She was the one seeing about his parents. He wasn't doing it. She paid all the bills. He got raised up financially and in social class by being with her. She's doing the cooking and the cleaning, and all he did was whine like this woman was destroying his life. On the flip side, he considered himself the perfect guy. Okay, leaving cheating aside. In the beginning, when Amy says their marriage was so perfect, what did she get out of being with Nick? A feeling of happiness. That's it. He got all this tangible stuff and she got to feel in love. And she sacrificed her entire independent personality for it. She pretended to be the cool girl and, made all those sacrifices that she ended up really resenting. And that's why so many women relate to the book. The worst woman, a literal sociopath, is adding more to the average man's life than the best man. That's an extreme example I played for laughs, but what do you get out of being with men? For most women, the answer is more work. Either he brings more work into your life or you all have children together, which exponentially increases your workload. And even if he offsets some of it, if he does 25%, you're still responsible for 75% of labor that you wouldn't have if he wasn't around. And you might love him. Some women might consider that a fair trade-off, but the fact is you have to sacrifice to be in a relationship with a man. And, here come all the incels. Oh, what if he pays all the bills? First of all, it's still less than equivalent. It's not even close to the worst she's bringing into his life because it's a lot cheaper to pay some bills you would already have. Because if you weren't there, he'd still need a place to live. He'd still have to pay for electricity and internet and car insurance and all those things. So even if he doubles the payments that he's making, it's still cheaper than paying for a chauffeur, a sex worker, a chef, a secretary, a psychologist, and so on and so forth, an incubator. Most men could never afford a surrogate. They could never afford IVF, but they have women in their lives, their wives and partners, doing that work for free. Even more, women are actually subsidizing that a lot of times because they're coming out of their own pocket with the copays for the doctor's visit, paying whatever percentage of the baby expenses. So not only did he get a free womb, now you're paying for the privilege of carrying his child. And even if he pays for everything and gives you, spoils you with Range Rovers and yachts, being with a man is a sacrifice. And I think a lot of men don't understand that. But because men have not been socialized to be emotionally intelligent, it leads to a lot of friction in relationships. Women repeat themselves over and over and over again in 20 different ways, trying to get men to understand the things that are important to her, and men have been socialized to ignore the problem or throw some money at it. What do you mean you don't know that I love you? I'm here, aren't I? Well, why don't you just take this money and go buy whatever? Oh God, what do I have to do? I don't want to hear about this anymore. Women are asking for love and emotional connection, and men are just like, I don't want any of that. They call it nagging. Oh God, why don't women just shut up? We just want sex. We just want a sandwich. You see how it's a sacrifice to be in a relationship with someone with that mindset? Who wants to be with someone who acts like you wanting to connect as a couple and do things that don't involve physical intimacy is some sort of burden? But a lot of men treat women like this, and they just get with women that they want to monologue at and they want to be their cheerleaders. They want to enfold women into their existing life. So whether that's taking you to his work events, whether that's, he wants you to play his video games or sit there while he plays them, he thinks of you as an accessory. This is most, not all. An accessory that's going to make his life more comfortable. Yeah, you're an appliance that he's going to use to improve his life, like a vacuum cleaner or a toaster. And like those things, he expects you to sit there until he has a use for you. And then he wants to use you, and then he's going to put you back in the corner like he does his vacuum cleaner or toaster until he needs you again. And a lot of guys are like, oh, that's hyperbolic. Oh, that's mean. How come so many men are on this app and all these other apps talking about, oh my God, how come she wants to spend time? How come she wants to talk to me? How come she wants to whine about feelings? I really prefer being with the boys to her. It sounds like you just want an appliance and not a relationship with a woman. We're not making this up. We're getting this right from you all. So it's a sacrifice to be in a relationship with that. And I haven't even gotten into the whole safety aspect, because we're just talking about relationships, not dates. We're not talking about all the work women have to do to get ready to go on a first date. But as you get deeper into a relationship, the constant worrying, women are often told by their mothers and grandmothers, make sure you maintain a separate account, put a little something by. Don't tell them exactly how much you make, because these women know from experience they had to escape a partner or a husband who turned on them suddenly. People keep talking about that, trad wife to divorced single mother in your 40s pipeline. And it's so real. Men are like, oh, you're just bitter. Oh, these people are so happy. Maybe today they are. And then after 20 years, when he's decided to be happy with somebody else, his wife is out on her ear with nothing to her name. So having to be constantly vigilant, having to wonder if you can trust the person, or feeling like you can trust them only to be blindsided in the end, it's a lot. Most women live with not having their needs or preferences considered. And even in the best of the best case scenario, with a quote perfect guy, men have been socialized to put their own needs first. They don't even realize it can be an issue. And they just take up a lot of space. It's like men out on the subway or whatever with their manspreading. They just automatically take up a lot of space, and a lot of women make themselves smaller to accommodate that. Or they're trying not to be a nag. They're trying not to be, this horrible bitch, because they've got a good man. He's a good man, Savannah. So you don't want to rock the boat, and you end up suppressing your own needs. And that's why every stat says that women fare worse in marriage. Their health is worse. They're less happy. They do more work. And why is their health worse? In part because everything is centered around the man. A lot of women don't get the sleep they need. Follow Mel Hamlet for more on that. But men snore, or they hog the covers, or, whatever else. Like I said, they're just manspreading their lives away. Men are a lot, and it can be incredibly draining just being around them, because they take all the air out of the space. They just take up all the space in the room. And women have been socialized to minimize their own needs, so they're not taking up too much space, not being a nag, not being a harpy. And again, you can have a perfect guy who cares about your needs and all that razzle dazzle, but we still live within a patriarchy. So he might have unlearned a lot of those habits, but at the end of the day, a lot of them are still going to take time to overcome. There's still going to be an adjustment period. It's still harder than living by yourself, doing whatever you want, doing you, living your life, even decorating your own space, how you want to decorate it, eating what you want to eat. The whole girl dinner trend is such an example of that. When women live by themselves, they just eat how they want to eat. And sometimes it means eating a yogurt for dinner, maybe a handful of cheese crackers and some wine. But you have a man, all of a sudden you're expected to cook a real meal every night for him and the kids. I just saw a woman on here. I love her cooking content, but she was saying that she's a pescatarian, and her husband and children eat red meat and chicken. And so she's talking about all the things that she cooks. And people are like, what do you eat? She's like, oh, most of the time I eat the sides. Imagine that. It's normal for the person who's planning all the meals, doing all the work, to just content themselves with sides, because the other people, they don't eat fish. Or rather, they can eat fish, but they're putting their dietary needs ahead of hers. And that's how women are socialized. To please everybody else. Oh, I'll take the burnt cookie. I'll just have sides. I'll just, make myself content with a smaller plate so you all can have. Like, some women are not interested in being the giving tree until we die. And they say, oh, you're selfish. What, like men? Because men get to live a life where not only do they always get to put themselves first, they get to enslave another person to do it. He gets to make you put him first too. Women are not selfish. If anything, we're saying we want to labor for ourselves. We're not trying to force somebody else to labor for us. Imagine somebody calling you selfish because they don't get to exploit you for your labor, for their own benefit. It's the madness for me. Don't allow yourself to be made the sacrifice. If you want to get into a relationship with a man, he needs to be offsetting way more burdens than he's bringing into your life. Like I said, if he's bringing in 5 points of pressure, he needs to be offsetting minimum 10 in measurable ways. Is he paying some bills and not some all? Does he like you as a person? Is he caring for your needs the way you're caring for his in an automatic way? All things to think about. Like and follow for more.